And now for a little snowman. I'm going to add a little added element here that I haven't used yet, but for those who know about these are a wonderful invention called glue dots. Probably can't see it really good on the paper, but check them out. They're really fun. We'll get to that in a minute. I've got an orange 160 that I've reverse inflated from the end, so I've got a little end there. And only got about 3 inches of that inflated. That's about all we'll need. I've got a black 160. I haven't inflated that, leaving about a 5 or 6 inch tail, but we're not even going to use all of that. I've got a black 260, inflated about halfway, and we're not going to use all of that either. A red 160, inflated with about an inch left on the end. And then, get that out of the way there, an 11-inch heart that I've inflated to about 8 or 9 inches. And as you can see, when I tied it, I tied the knot away from the balloon, leaving a little bit of nozzle left because we're going to squeeze some air up into that in a moment. This is how we're going to make our little snowman. What we'll do, squeeze it, don't be afraid of it, work it a little bit, and then pinch off about a 3 or 4 inch bubble up on the top and twist that. This is going to be the body of our snowman. This will be the head up here. Now we're going to take our red 160 and you're going to find about where the halfway point is, and then just wrap it around where you've separated that 11-inch, bring them around and then twist them together. And as you can see now, that holds his head up there. Fortunately, if you've got a problem, this is going to come untwisted if you're not careful. So what I'll do here is I'll make 2 small little pinch twists here at the base of that. This is going to be the scarf for our snowman. And make sure you're pinch twisting on the one that has the excess left over, unless you like the sound of popping. So now as you can see, I've made 2 small pinch twists, and I positioned one on top and one on the bottom of the scarf. Now normally you would leave the scarf free flowing like that, but not quite that long. But what this does here, the effect of this long scarf, I'll come out so that I've got about the size of the snowman left on the ends here, so about 6 or 7 inches. And twist it together again, and then again make sure you use the end that's got the uninflated portion. Twist another small pinch twist into that bubble there to force those 2 to point down. And what you get now is when you point these 2 down, now not only can your snowman stand up by balancing on his scarf, but you've got a cavity here, or a break in that bubble, and this is where you can insert your flowers to make this a cute little delivery vase. Remember, this is the Deliveries video. So now we've got our basic snowman there. We're going to take our black 260, come back here, and I'm going to take the nozzle end of the 260 and tie it to that remaining nozzle on top of our snowman, just to make sure it's attached. This is easier than trying to twist it in afterwards. So we'll tie that together to attach it. We're going to do a 3-bubble roll through, or a bird body up here, so you want to make sure it's kind of soft. This will be his hat, or the top part of his hat, so make it an 1.5 inch bubble, another 1.5 inch bubble, and then twist those together. And then we're going to do the 3rd one, same size again. And we'll roll that through the first 2, just like that. Now that's his hat. Now we've got this excess left over. Pop it off, and then be sure and tie it. And when you go to tuck it in, what I'll do is I'll tuck it through and back around once or twice. I'll try to make sure that it's going to stay in there. You don't want his hat coming undone halfway into delivery. So we've got the beginning of his hat. Now we're going to take our 160, the black that we have left over. I'm being lazy all of a sudden. And you'll want to twist your knot, or your nozzle end, into the base of his hat there. We'll write our time or 2 secret, then I'll tuck it into his hat. Now what we want to do is we're going to give him a little bit of a brim. So what you want to do here first is make just a little bitty tiny bubble, not very big at all. It's maybe a 1/4 inch. Then you're going to make a little about a 1/2 inch bubble, or maybe a 1/4 inch as well. Make that small. Make that second one into a pinch twist. And then you're going to take your 160 and wrap it completely around the hat till you get back to that little pinch twist, and then that pinch twist gives you something to twist into to secure the top part of his hat, and then pop this excess off. Remember I told you we wouldn't use all of what we had there. And I'll go ahead and tie that to make sure it's going to stay. And tuck it up in under his hat. And then turn that so it's to the back. And there's his little hat. Now what you can do here, this is where you've got a little bit of an option. And this is where that glue dot and the orange come into play. This guy just does not want to stand up. Let's adjust this bubble up in here a little bit. Tuck it in there. That should help him. There we go. Now, we're going to take our 1/16. You've got the option, you can always just draw a nose on if you like. But snowmen have carrots. So what you do is I've taken this reverse inflated orange 1/60, come down about an inch or so and twist off a bubble. Then you want to make two little bitty tiny bubbles, about a quarter of an inch, and make them both into little pinch twists. And then the excess of this gets popped off, just like that. I'll go ahead and tie that. Now what you want to do, try to tuck that where it'll hide a little better. If you ever work with these little small pinch twists in 1/60s, they can be a pain sometimes. You can see I just twisted the wrong way and untwisted both of them. There we go. Just like that, and then trim that excess off. And now we've got a little carrot for a nose, and the two pinch twists are going to help it stay on a little bit better. So what we'll do is we'll take our glue dot, and you can see it, it's right there on the piece of paper. I'll try to get it where it covers and overlaps both of those pinch twists. Rub it on there and then peel your paper off once you get it rubbed on. And now you can see the glue dot on the carrot. Then we'll take our carrot and just stick it on his face right there. And now we've got a snowman with a carrot nose. And you just take your marker and add some eyes and buttons, and he's good to go. Oh, and the mouth, of course. Insert flowers into your vase, into a scarf, and he's ready for delivery.